All right, we're back for another show this week, and Mr. Brown's got an exciting announcement. He might be doing something this weekend that you're probably going to hear about. We got Turbo Tommy back in studios. We do our NFL Stone Cold Lead Pipe Locks of the Week, and believe it or not, we actually go and talk somewhat positive yet again about the NBA. That and more. This is the We Don't Know Sports Podcast. Stay tuned. Welcome back once again to the We Don't Know Sports Podcast. This is Chad the Mark with
Mr. Brown
and
Turbo Biggie.
It's a combination of epic proportions. So Turbo Tommy is now sitting a little closer to the microphone, but not quite with us because he's actually held his own when it came to the NFL picks. Is that fair to say?
I'd say he's done quite well.
I'm just glad he started late so I can continue to kick your all's asses. And right now he's kind of the paper champ because it's only 2 weeks.
You know, we have plenty of stuff to get to eventually when we get to the NFL picks because I was talking to Biggie last night that we have a guy that we kind of keep an eye on. I've become friends with, or friendly with, I guess, and we'll get into more of that. But it has a lot to do with just how good Mr. Brown's picks have been this year. So that being said, we do have a couple things that have happened since last week. So we're on an off night tonight. We got no baseball. The World Series has started. We're tied at one game apiece. It's leaving Houston, coming back to Atlanta. We have a potential epic Thursday night game going on, but what's happened with the Packers, Biggie?
COVID has hit the wide receiver meeting room.
It is not good if you're a Packers fan. And the Cardinals, it looks like that undefeated streak's going to go even longer now.
Even without J.J. Watt, who's out with 4 different injuries.
It really sucks, too, because this is definitely the best matchup we've seen on Thursday. I mean, you're looking
since week 1.
Yeah, you're looking at potentially the Cardinals' first loss, you would think, with the full Packers team here. But so does the Cardinals really need this edge, I guess?
Here's how bad it is. 2 guys I know out in Arizona, one of them sent me a message because his buddy decided to make a bet with him on tonight's game that Randall Cobb would have at least 20 fantasy points for the simple fact that there's no Devontae Adams, no Valdez-Scantling, no Lazard. He's like their only option.
That's probably a great fantasy pickup right now, though.
I feel like this is a major letdown because it should have been not only the Thursday night game of the year, but maybe the primetime game of the year because Packers have been absolutely rolling since week 1. Here, short week. You might have a couple injuries, COVID hits. They said that Adams is vaccinated, so if it were a Sunday game, he'd have a chance for 2 negative tests and get the chance to play, but short week, not going to happen.
And they're not getting into moving games like they did last year.
No, Wednesday afternoon football didn't hit like they thought it would.
Damn it. I just looked for Randall Cobb in our league.
He's gone.
No, he's on waivers after tonight's game. It's a waste.
That's Harp Attack doing that crap where all he does is pick people up to drop them so you can't get them.
Yeah, he does that. Every week he makes like 5 moves, and he only picks a guy up for a day so that when he drops him, they're unavailable for Thursday, and he'll drop them on Friday night so you can't pick him up till Monday.
That's a strategy.
The Booty Hole Troll seriously does some trolling.
He is a troll. All right, so we'll definitely dive into a little bit more NFL, obviously. We got what week are we in? Week 8?
Week 8.
I'll tell you, almost halfway through the season. Now I don't know what actually halfway is anymore because we got that stupid 17th week. I can't
there is no halfway anymore.
There's not. But we do have our lead pipe stone cold locks coming up later. And, those are always fun. But I'll be honest with you. I was upset because I thought I was back to 500 and it was a clerical error, counting error.
You got to keep an eye on you trying to shave points Chad. Like your Neon Deuce here.
I know. But I wanted to shift gears here real quick, man. This is kind of exciting news. So, Mr. Brown, you held something kind of close to the vest there. And then after, our show Thursday over the weekend, you kind of released some exciting news. So what was that?
Yeah, I didn't want to make the announcement because it's superstition, right? That's all baseball is about.
Exactly.
I knew at the time we did the show last week that I'd already purchased World Series tickets. But I didn't want to jinx the Braves, so I will be at Game 4 in Atlanta, second row in left field against the Houston Astros, and I'll apparently be joined by Donald Trump.
Is he sitting next to you? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, I reserved a seat for him.
How excited are you on a scale of 1 to 10 to go? Not just this is your first playoff game you've been to, right?
No, we went to playoffs.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So this is the first year you've gone to a playoff game. Now this is the first World Series game because the Braves haven't been in the series since '99, right?
When we were 17.
All right. So here you are, man. You got to be excited. Scale 1 to 10, where you at?
Right now I'm kind of a 7 because it really hasn't sunk in yet. It's not going to sink in until we leave tomorrow morning, and then when we arrive at the Battery tomorrow for dinner and watch the game on the big screen right outside the stadium for Game 3, that's when it'll sink in because I got a bunch of friends from Tomahawk Talk and other Braves fans from social media. They want to hang out and have a drink or two and have fun out there at the Battery.
Now, that's got to be pretty cool having never been down there. You're watching Game 4, but Game 3, you sit right at the stadium. It's got the same feel to it. Watch it on the big screen and maybe hit a ball out towards you, if they're roided up.
Well, yeah. That'd be a foul ball straight back of epic proportions. But, yeah, I got you.
Like
so
you
the
said,
Braves are 5-0. 5-0 at home this postseason. Manfred just came out in support of the Braves to Tomahawk Chop the chant. Is that what you're looking forward to the most?
What do you mean he came out in support?
Earlier this week, I want to say it was Tuesday. They had Tuesday, day of the World Series, Game 1. They had a conference call. They do state of the game, that type of thing. He was asked about Atlanta, the Tomahawk Chop, and he came out in full support of it. And he said that they don't market to just one part of the country or to the country as a whole. They have 30 individual markets. It is well-liked, well-supported, and well-respected in that region. He fully supports it.
He did say that.
That is amazing. I don't know if Manfred's the guy you want on your side, though. I don't know.
He also said they did great things for the Native American community. So.
Oh, you mean there's more to the story than just the virtue signaling? Yes. Amazing. Chop your ass off while you're down there, Mr. Brown. Chop one for me.
So what I was going to ask you is, as we look around the man cave, there's multiple tomahawks here from your trips to Atlanta. Are you more looking forward to the night game and going and doing the chop with your cell phone, or would you like a World Series tomahawk to hang?
I feel like they should hand one out to everybody that shows, but they won't. And I'm damn well not going to bring one of these with me because somebody tried to probably mug me. So I'm going to keep these souvenirs right here in the man cave. I will chop with my hand, and then when the lights go off, I will chop with my cell phone.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, and you're making a wise decision unless you were desperate for money and wanted to raise a couple $100. That's the only reason to take one of them tomahawks. Because we know those World Series tickets ain't cheap. But, man, you had to stay for a couple nights because the hotels wouldn't even let you just do a night in and night out, right?
Yeah, and that's why we was going to show up Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon. But they're like, no, we need you Friday and Saturday. Get our money's worth. So, like I said, I just watched Game 3 at the Battery.
Well, you know what you might need to do is take a couple of tomahawks with you. Braves win Game 3 and Game 4. You can sell them, have free tickets for Game 5 when they clinch the World Series at home.
There you go.
I know. I was hoping, not that I have a rooting interest for either of these teams,
but he would be there and they'd win the World Series that night.
Sweep, man. Yeah. I was so disappointed when they didn't win last night. I know that's asking a lot, and he's not going to comment the same way because of the superstition, obviously. But did it cross your mind at all? Game 4. Is that why you chose Game 4? Just for the slight chance that could have happened?
I knew neither team would sweep. They're too evenly matched. I think the series goes 6 games minimum. I simply picked Game 4 because it's better for me and my work and my travel schedule. That's it.
Just because it fell on a weekend.
Correct.
All right.
I wanted it on Saturday. I didn't want it on Friday or Sunday. That way it's right in the middle. I can work from home on Monday, and then we're good to go.
I don't like that answer, but I know that's the truth.
It is the truth.
All right, so since you are the resident baseball guy and an Atlanta Braves diehard fan, what's your take on the series so far?
Well, the Braves did what they needed to do. They split in Houston, which is what they needed to do, so they took care of home field right there. But in the process, they lost their number one pitcher, and he's out for the series. And Charlie Morton's the only pitcher in Major League history that has clinched with a team in a closeout game.
Is it 4 times?
4 times. You have the Rays, you have the Astros, you have the Braves, and you have the Pirates.
God, he's been in the league that long. The Pirates are on the list.
But he's the grizzled veteran that's on the mound, and there was nothing that seemed to faze the guy. He's 36, 37 years old, throwing 96, and he has a break-off curveball, slider. He threw 16 pitches, for God's sakes, after he broke his leg last start.
When he went down and they took him out, you didn't think it was off of the pitch that had hit him or the comebacker that hit him because you thought it was a hamstring or something. The way he came down a little weird when they come back and say, oh, yeah, he had a broken fibula 16 pitches before. He finished that inning, went and sat down, came back out. That's impressive.
Well, isn't that kind of the question? Like, did he break it off the actual ball or was it from just the pressure of a couple pitches?
Pushing off.
And he just kept playing with it. Like, how many pitches did he throw with a broken freaking leg?
Oh, he apologized after the game for not being able to go longer.
Yeah, what a loser. How dare you not complete the game? How come you can't be Jack Morris? You freaking broken leg. You
Where's Kurt Schilling when you need him?
Well, that came up on our group, which was a bigger scenario. It was Kurt Schilling's alleged bloody sock, which people still think it's ketchup. Or unknown substance, or pitching on an actual broken leg. Well, then on our page, people wanted to make sure we knew that the fibula does not support weight, and then it's not that big of a deal.
Not a weight-bearing bone. Yeah. All right, then you go do that.
Can I break your fibula?
Yeah. Anyone who comments that gets a shot to the nuts or the fibula, their choice.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but, let's not lessen this guy's heroics. Big game pitcher, man.
Well, they said that, and I'm like, oh, well, in that case, what a puss. Why didn't you stay out there?
Cut him now. In fact, you should give me back half your contract.
That's like Baker having the torn up left shoulder. Well, it's not his throwing arm. Why is it even a problem?
Yeah. You definitely don't even need that arm for anything at all.
Yeah.
I just want to see him take a snap under center with one hand. That'll be fine.
So, if the Braves were to end up winning this World Series based off the first two games and how the playoffs have went, who do you think would end up being your shining stars, or somebody that like Rosario who stayed hot, or do you think that somebody else steps up?
I mean, it could be anybody. It could be Riley. It could be Freeman. It could be Soler, who came back and hit a home run first pitch, first strike he saw after being out for the whole COVID series.
Wait. First time ever, top of the first inning, home run for the leadoff guy in World Series history, right?
Yeah.
I think it's got to be the GM to make these moves mid-season.
Oh. Yeah, they typically don't give them to the GM with the pudgy belly.
But
as much as I love AA.
Hey, is he going to be able to stay in Atlanta, though? Has he not been the hottest rising name in all of baseball?
He's already worked with the Dodgers front office, and he came from the Dodgers to the Braves.
Was it a step
He was
down,
also
though?
in Toronto.
Yeah, at the same level?
GM, yeah.
Okay.
But so to me, I'm still worried, even though we took game one, because we got Ian Anderson going game 3. I'm going to be at game 4. I couldn't tell you who's going to pitch. It looks like game 4 and game 5 when Morton would have been pitching. Most likely now be a bullpen game, unless they throw out like a Drew Smiley or a Kyle Wright, who they added to the roster as a starter who hadn't pitched much all year. Seems like a lot to ask from a guy who has no experience. It would almost be like more to ask than what they did with Ian Anderson last year. So, and this Houston Astros lineup, that's not somebody you want to just throw out there and see what happens.
They rake.
You know, the only thing that I think the Braves have going for them is that baseball as a whole has turned into a bullpen game. We've talked about it where the days of Smoltz and Morris, you don't see that hardly ever. There's a few pitchers that'll really deal, but that's it. So they're loaded in that bullpen to where you can get through a game or two with just your bullpen arms, but having to win 3 more without getting a quality start from either Anderson or a spot starter, not going to happen.
As long as you don't give up 5 runs in the second inning.
I'm going to take it a step further. So before Morton got hurt, I was actually going to predict the Braves to win in 6 games. Now I feel like that's such a huge swing. With the ace going down, I feel like Houston wins in 7. I hope I'm wrong. That's just what I see.
Houston doesn't have any starters either. They're all trash.
Are you telling yourself that just so you can be wrong? Is that kind of like whenever I pick against the Bengals not to cover?
Houston was already the favorite, and then you lose your best pitcher? I mean, they're more the favorite now. The Braves are going to fight because they've fought all year long. But I don't think they have enough pitching to maintain what they need to do to win the series. Just my opinion. And they don't have home field.
Right. And you're not you're not wrong necessarily. It's just, that's coming from a guy who's putting emotions aside. I'll give you credit for that because I wouldn't even like to give predictions in this aspect of a scenario because it's got to be a little gut wrenching. But I do have a follow-up question for both of you. I would like it answered because I was watching the game last night, watching some of it. I got a little tied up with some family things, but what the hell was John Smoltz talking about getting electrocuted, man? Can someone explain this to me? Or Turbo Tommy, you want to come over? You listened to that a little bit. So, I mean, he was talking about how you get a live arm.
Apparently, when he was younger, he had a camper, and the steps or the handle coming down from the steps became electrocuted, charged with a short.
Like there was a bad cord somewhere. And he got electrocuted, and his mother actually had to kick him off of the steps. And that's how he claimed he got a live arm. If that's not a damn Henry Rowengarter story, I don't know what the hell is. I had never heard anything like that from Smoltz except for last night, man.
So he's a real life superhero.
Did you not hear that?
No, I didn't hear it.
It was so funny because, we have this wonderful software we use to watch all the games and TV and whatnot. And it actually got caught on a loop at my house. And I listened to it like 3 times and I didn't even want to get it caught back up to live because I was like, what the hell did he say? And then Joe Buck was at a loss. And then Smalls was like, I'm not condoning that you go electrocute yourself just so you can throw a fastball. That's not what I'm saying. Ignore everything I just said, actually. It was very bizarre. But that's Smoltzy, though, man. So
it all makes sense now because I've never seen a slider like that. So that's all you got to do, young folks out there. Try this at home, and you'll be the next John Smoltz.
Wait, you know what it is? It's the electric slider.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's the next dance, son. That's the new Applebee's song dance.
That's it.
Nice dad joke.
Wah, wah, wah.
All right, I got to test an experiment to see if Mr. Brown's massive plan of us playing fantasy basketball has actually paid off. So, Biggie, I actually beat you in fantasy for week 1. So that might be my only victory all year, but I'll take it starting out.
5-4, you're off on a winning note. It's a good thing.
Hey, as long as it's a W. But the thing I have learned so far in the NBA season is that Russ is getting a lot of attention now that he's on LA. It has become the Russ Westbrook show and how he does on a nightly basis. And he did get a quadruple double the other night. Did you see that?
I saw that they were up 26 in the first half on OKC and lost by 5.
But he got a quadruple double.
Yeah, that's cool. That's what Russ does.
Part of it was turnovers.
Through the first 4 or 5 games of the season, he's turned LeBron. Now this could just be LeBron coasting. He's not sitting and resting, but he is.
Wait, are you insinuating LeBron coasts?
Yes. We all know that.
He doesn't take plays off on defense.
Never.
They look a little rigid through the first 3-4 games, which we thought they would. I'm sure that they'll kind of get moving here when they get 15, 20 games into the season and figure each other out. But LeBron didn't play the other night, but I don't care who you are. If you have championship aspirations, Westbrook's out there, AD, you're up 26 on a team that's not going to make the playoffs. That's a pretty bad loss.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't our father's NBA, that's for sure.
Doing the fantasy league was the reason to get us old heads back into this game where we don't like it. One of the things that we all talked about we did like were the rule changes.
Well, so I want to bring that up because my first pick in the fantasy draft was Mr. James Harden, and something's not clicking, man. Something's not right, especially with Kyrie out. I figured this guy would be a lock to go off.
What pick was that?
Was it 5th overall? Yeah, that sounds right. So why? Why is this happening to Mr. Beard?
So through 4 games this year, he shot a total of 15 free throws. He lived at the line for most of his career. That's what made him MVP type caliber. I saw that his last 2 full years in Houston, he had 40 games where he shot at least 15 free throws. He's only averaging 17 a game, and he doesn't even look good on the offensive end. He's out of rhythm. He's mentioned it in 2 post-game press conferences that he's the poster child for the new rules, and they need to call what they see. I don't know about you guys, but he made the all-time All-75 NBA list. To me, he looks like just a chunky, washed-up fuck.
Well, I mean, He is still drinking milkshakes a little bit. We're not going to ignore that. But I saw some of the highlights where they're showing he's got that habit where he always tries to hook your arm when he goes up for a shot. And they're like, nah, we're not going to call that now. And that's devastating for him.
I love that rule change because now it's back to real basketball where you can't start at the 3-point line and decide to jump sideways into somebody and get 3 free throws. And what's the thing he lived on even more so than that? What you just said. When he would drive to the basket, he would make sure he came underneath your arms. So even though you were there in a good defensive position, his arms came into your arms and it was a foul on you.
Yeah. Basically, you're not allowed to insinuate the contact if you're an offensive player.
So, like, what about if they're shooting and they kick their legs out? No more?
That was the rule they first did a couple years ago because that was the Harden rule, right? So, like, you talk about him being the poster boy, like, he's already been the poster boy because they fixed that already, where if your feet are out of the cylinder when you jump and you make contact with a defender, that wasn't a foul.
So, but now if you're leaning your body and into the defender, it's not going to be called a foul.
Like, for example,
or a charge?
No call. For example, I'm watching who were they playing the other night? I can't remember. But he was on like the right wing, and he gets by the guy on the screen, and he could just go to the basket. But instead, when he gets about 15 feet out, he just makes a sharp movement to his left to collide with the defender, and they don't call anything, and the ball just like goes careening out of bounds. And he just has that look.
Is he like bump into him and immediately throw his arms in the air out of reaction?
Exactly. Yes. Okay. So this is something I gotta find some clips and show you because it's quite interesting. Because if you just watch it in real time, you're like, oh, there's clearly some but these refs have seen Harden enough to know it's like, wow, he's really insinuating this. He's the one that's initiating the contact.
So my follow-up question, real quick, Biggie, is the fact that Chad, did you not anticipate this rule change in your fantasy strategy?
No, not at all, because I thought it's still a league where the 3 reigns supreme, and even if it does, impact him a little bit, it's not going to go from 15 a game to 15 every 4 games. I thought it'd go from like 15 to 8, and I'd be okay with that because he'd still score 27 a game.
That's what I think. I think he'll adjust as the season goes. He'll end up getting to where instead of having 15 through 4 games, he'll get his 8 free throws a game, but it's going to be a hard thing for him to do to where does he become just a step back 3-point shooter? Does he continue to try to go to the basket?
I should have just drafted Kyrie.
Well, you'd have had better odds.
Was that a jab?
Nah, you didn't draft him in the first round, though.
Yeah, 8th or 9th.
No, that's fine. That's respectable. It wasn't. I didn't know who drafted him. I couldn't remember.
You did.
I just feel like that is what has stuck out to me the most through the first week is a guy who league MVP, scoring 37 a game, a simple rule change, and Kyrie's out, so it's a ball share between him and Durant. Can't get 20 a night.
And that's where I was going to go next. So Brooklyn is 2-3 so far, and it's only 5 games. But how is he only averaging 17 a game, like you said, when it's just him and Durant? Like, they should both be averaging 25 plus.
So part of that is just from watching him being on my fantasy team. There was the couple games they won by pretty big margin, and he already had like 19 points going into the fourth quarter, and he just didn't play.
Yeah, and then they had a couple of performances. Patty Mills had a big night, and Joe Harris had one good night out of the 5 games where I think Patty Mills hit 7 of 7 from downtown, and Joe Harris had like 5 threes. So it's not that he couldn't have scored more, but
forget all that for a minute. I'm just looking forward to the Chicago Bulls and New York Knicks Eastern Conference Finals that we're going to see.
Hey, they're playing tonight, baby. The fans in Chicago gave D Rose a standing ovation before he was coming off the bench.
So there's only 3 teams left undefeated. You got the Bulls, the only team in the East, and the Warriors and the Jazz.
Wow. The Warriors are undefeated?
4-0. The Bulls and the Warriors are 4-0, and the Jazz are 3-0.
Wow. All right. So, yeah. See, we would never even talk about this before. See how enlightened no, we're not enlightened.
Enlightened.
We're aware, cognizant of basketball, I guess. I don't know.
The thing I like about the Jazz, they got Hassan Whiteside. He's bringing some fight to him, literally.
So they got Whiteside backing up Gobert?
Yep.
He's still available. Pick him up.
How many minutes is he playing?
He's 19.
Yeah.
I looked it up this morning.
You want to get them blocks.
I got plenty of blocks.
I think that some of the things we thought before the season have turned out to be true as far as the Lakers not looking so good to start with. The Bulls have surprised me the most being 4-0. The Warriors, when they get Clay back and they're starting to roll healthy with some of the young guys they've drafted over the last couple of years, are really interesting to me because the way the league's set up, it plays perfectly for them. And
we'll see what Clay's legs look like.
It'll take until after the All-Star break before he's playing regular minutes. But if he can score 37 and a quarter, I think he can score 16 in a game playing 18 minutes.
Well, I'm just saying, we'll see. He's been out a long time. He ain't played in like 2 years, man.
He hangs out in the bay with his dog on his boat.
Well, boats and hoes are one thing. Playing in the NBA is, well, it's still about hoes, I guess. But
is there anything that has or hasn't happened so far that's really surprised you other than the rule change with Durant? Or with Harden?
No, I mean, I am just excited to actually see that fans are still showing up to watch the NBA, and some of the arenas are pretty boisterous here. So I'm wondering how many more bad fan interactions we're going to have. You remember when it came back last year and everybody kind of got out of hand? It's been pretty mild so far. But
remember the Suns and 4 guy?
Yeah, we're going to get some more. That's the best part of the NBA is the Suns and 4 guy and stuff like that. But I can't remember the Knicks. Their crowd was going, oh, did you hear them? They were chanting, where's Ben Simmons?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the kind of stuff I want in my NBA, damn it. Like, give me more of that and I'll be all right. Give me some invested fans. But last question, I think we'll ask this every week until we get an answer. Does Ben Simmons play for the Sixers?
No.
Mr. Brown?
No, he needs to go to Brooklyn.
Why not?
Definitely. The trade I would like to see happen is him and Kyrie, because then Kyrie's in a market where he could actually play.
Right.
And Simmons fits perfectly with freaking Harden.
It's a win-win.
Durant.
That would be a win-win.
Although the trade I've heard rumored that Houston would accept is John Wall to Philly, Ben Simmons to Houston, and then Houston compensates Philly with a couple picks since they're obviously getting the better younger player.
I don't know. Houston just seems to be like a dumpster fire ever since they got rid of Harden. So good. I guess that's what Ben Simmons is going to get is a dumpster fire. That's all you get. But thanks for playing. All right, it's time to talk a little NFL, time to talk a little football. And just to be really clear, we already picked tonight's game, the Thursday night game. As always, we're watching a little Thursday night football. And, I took the Cardinals. So did you, Biggie. You were compelled to take the Cardinals and then throw down a sick parlay, apparently.
Calamari.
What's your parlay you got going on?
I need Calamari,
Aaron
Jones, and DeAndre Hopkins to each score a touchdown, and the Cardinals just to win straight up.
All right, that's a nice parlay. I like that. I like the creativity.
It pays 15-1.
There you go. All right, and then we got Turbo Tommy. Turbo Tommy is back after a couple weeks of just doing really exceptional picks. So, Tommy.
Nation of domination.
You know what I like the most about Tommy and picks is that he was on for a guest picker for 1 week, and he did well. And the next week, it wasn't, we'll have different guest pickers. Tommy's like, here's my picks, bitches.
I mean, Tommy, is a solid contributor to We Don't Know Sports. So, might as well get him out of that stupid dart league he's in and do something productive and actually pick NFL games. You might be good at it.
I hit the bullseye.
So you and Mr. Brown both took the Packers tonight just to make sure we got that out of the way. But before we get into the rest of the picks, and I believe do we have it at a 6.5 point spread? Is that what we chose?
6.5.
Okay, just making sure. So a couple things happened in the NFL this week. So the Packers are playing tonight with virtually no receiving core because of COVID. And then to everyone's surprise, J.J. Watt went on injured reserve and is out for the year. I can't believe a guy like J.J. Watt is going to miss time.
Tommy, as a Steelers fan, you do know that this is coming into the future for TJ Watt, right? Chad let you know that earlier.
Yes.
Like you have like a couple of years.
It's genetics.
Or a couple games left after you paid him all that money. You're never going to see him on the field again.
TJ and JJ are two different people. TJ will be there.
They might be two different people, but they got the same parents. So enjoy the injury bug coming.
We get 2 seasons every 5 years.
That's it. Give him $23 million
Watt
for 2
did
years.
play all 16 games last year for what it's worth.
Defensive MVP.
All right. So Going to the rest of the wonderful news in the NFL, you also have Mark Davis adamantly doubling down, wanting the emails released from the Washington football team because he's the only one that had to pay for anybody's sins here, and I don't think he's happy about it. If you're the other owners, is this just more of a reason for you to collaborate to get rid of the Davis family running a football team?
I think that's why he's pushing for it, because he knows they're angling to get him out. Now that the team's in Vegas, we talked about this off air, they want a Stan Kroenke, a deep-pocketed owner, to have a team that they can showcase in Las Vegas, and he is not it.
I learned something about Stan Kroenke. You know, he owns all the Denver sports teams.
Yes, everything
I did not know
for the
that.
Broncos.
Yeah, the Rams and the
He owns the
Nuggets
Avalanche,
and the Avalanche
and the Rockies.
and the Nuggets. I
Or
think
Avalanche and the Nuggets.
maybe he might own the Rockies too. I don't
No,
know.
it's the Avalanche and the Nuggets. He doesn't own the Bolin family. Somehow still has the Broncos and the Rockies. Or
Well,
somebody
he
else.
owns the arena too that they play in.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
good
he
for you,
owns
Stan
the-
Kroenke.
He owns the Rams, the Nuggets, and the Avalanche.
All right. So what?
No, but go back to Davis. Make it make sense that he is the only guy taking the fall
You
here.
can't.
Something is clearly wrong, and I love the fact he's pushing it just like his dad would have.
Like he just
Lawsuit's coming.
give him a copy of the emails. Then we'll
Amen.
find out real quick who's in trouble.
There's going to be a lawsuit coming out. You watch and see.
Now, did you see Plastic Face, Jerry Jones? He had the opposite opinion. He was just like, oh, it was the due diligence. You know, they did what they could, and it is what it is because God knows what they might have on Jerry.
When I heard Jerry's speech, it was almost as though he wrote Goodell's responses for him because they said the exact same thing, just used different words.
Yeah, let me tell you what it's saying, Roger. Just follow the script. We'll be fine.
I'm pretty disappointed because it started as a Washington football thing a year ago, and it was this breaking case on how bad it was. Daniel Snyder got fined $10 million, which is pocket change. It's like me or you having $20. And then he hands the team over to his wife. He still sees her every day, goes to games. He's still running the team. They did nothing to him. He had over 40 people who were sexually harassed, cheerleaders having their pictures passed around, taking them on planes down to Jamaica, making them do things. None of that's coming out, yet John Gruden is a racist. Let's get rid of Mark Davis as the owner of the Raiders. There's just something that's so effed up here beyond relief.
And let's go to the comparative, analysis here. So let's go back. I can't sit here and tell you all the details, but the Mavericks and Mark Cuban had some, not as grotesque, but they had some misgivings that happened. And, he paid a lot for that. And they had some turnover in their inner structure there. And then the big news that came out, not that we get to talk about hockey a lot. This is not how I want to bring up hockey, but did you hear about the stuff with the, was it the Blackhawks?
I just heard like the top line where they had fired the GM.
Yeah.
The GM resigned due to sexual assault allegations.
Yeah. So basically they had like a team photographer or something like video coordinator, something like that like the young guys coming up from the farm system, he was trying to have their way with him. And it was like a John Doe case. Like they kept him anonymous and the dude came forward. He said, yeah, it was me. So I'm just letting you know like how shitty all this was. But, they completely, so like Dallas made strides to clean up their act. I assume I could be wrong.
Right.
And then the Blackhawks don't have anybody left, that happened with that. So can you shed some light on the Mavericks stuff?
So the one thing about the owner that pushed back on pushing Donald Sterling out of the league was Mark Cuban, because he said, what kind of precedent does this set? How will this affect
He's not
me?
wrong.
Which one happened and then which one followed it up? He already knew he had skeletons in the closet. So some of these owners in the NFL coming out trying to toe company line, like you said, there's stuff that they can't afford to have come out.
So I tell you what, they can't, I don't think you can release all of the emails. I think you can't just be like, here's a FOIA request. You
Some
get it
like
all.
anonymity issues there, right?
I think you need to turn it over to a third-party investigative group or something like that and let them shed light on what they feel is appropriate for the public to see. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of.
I don't think that we ever see any of the good stuff.
Goodell's already said, nah, it's done. It's done. And it is. It's just going to die a slow death, and we're never going to hear from it again. That's just the fact.
Well, and that's the thing that I hate about the NFL. They print their own damn money. So we can know how Robert Kraft gets his nuts off. We can know what the freaking inflation of a ball is. we can know Bountygate, we can know all these things, but they don't release anything when it pertains to the owners. And that's exactly what this is. It's dirt on the NFL that would hurt them because the owners run the league. Goodell works for them. It's complete bullshit, but guess what? 2 months, nobody will care. By the time the Super Bowl rolls around, it'll be an afterthought.
Didn't the Texans owner say something stupid this week too?
Doesn't he always say something stupid, or do they have a new owner now? Did they still have the guy who said you can't let the inmates run the asylum?
I think that guy died.
Bob McNair?
Don't make me say if he's dead or not. I think he passed. I'm gonna say that he's not with us anymore. I don't think it was Bob McNair. I think he's gone. But yeah, it's that guy, I think. But anyway, the Texans, they're malign. Oh, let's hit that real quick before we hit the picks. The Texans have completely cleaned the house, and now their own players are getting even more pissed off because Mark Ingram's back on the Saints now. So, Brandon Cooks is just like, this is bullshit, like saying that on social media. So, if you're a Texans fan, do you still trust the process?
Not from what I heard today. I heard on my afternoon drive home that the Texans had an offer, Nick Caserio, during the offseason when he was saying, I'm not accepting any calls on Deshaun Watson. He had an offer from an unnamed team, which they believe is the Miami Dolphins, who offered 3 1s and 3 3s for Watson before the season started, and he wouldn't even take their call. He wouldn't. They left basically a voicemail. Here's the message, and he never responded.
But now apparently there's a deal in place between the Dolphins and the Texans that as long as the Dolphins are reassured whatever Deshaun Watson's legal proceedings will end up being, that they're ready to make the deal. But nobody can confirm or predict that stuff. Goodell can't even do that. They're actually doing something smart here and just letting it play out because the thing is, Deshaun Watson could play Sunday if they wanted him to.
Yeah, the Texans have done the NFL a favor at this point, just making him active during the week and inactive on Sundays. And from everything I've seen, traded to the Dolphins, he could play the remainder of this season, but you don't know what is going to come after that.
But if you're the front office, do you want the blowback of trading for Deshaun Watson right now?
To me, if you're the Dolphins at 1-6, Stephen Ross owns you. He's got a ton of money. He's looking at his football people saying, I don't know football. I'm giving you a lot of money to run this. We're 1-6. F this. Go get me a star.
What about tank for Tua?
Dude, Tua has balled out the last 2 weeks. He's really raising his trade value.
Not enough, apparently. Not enough to overcome the 17 sexual allegations. Or I don't know. How many does Deshaun Watson have?
22.
22. My bad. See, I took the under.
He likes greasy Cuban buttholes.
Wow. With that being said, not a better time to hit the music and drown out the insanity. So we'll let that sink in for a second. It is time for the Week 8 NFL Stone Cold Lead Pipe Locks. And I just got to let everybody know that we've been known to compare ourselves to Bleacher Report in the past, correct?
Yes, because we do well.
Right. And they've been an easy target for us because we've been able to look at Bleacher Report, this respected group of sports journalists, and say that, you know what, we've held our own because for 2 years we've consensusly beat them, and our best has been better, and our bottom has been better than their bottom. So we've been chatting it up with Gary Davenport here a little bit lately, and I told him I was upset that Bleacher Report is not showing their yearly standings anymore. And he said, well, it's probably because we suck. And, we got into a little bit of a conversation, and I asked him just how they were doing. And he alerted to me that there's this website that tracks every NFL expert out there that does picks. So everybody you can think of, the Bleacher Report guys are on there. Ron Jaworski's on there, like everybody. Mr. Brown, you would be on page 1, buddy. You'd be ranked 13th overall. Why are you not making money?
I'm a failure. My boss tells me every day.
You can't stop him. You can only hope to continue.
He's half man, half amazing. That's all I know. But Biggie, you and I would be in the top 45. So we're not, and it goes to like 400 people.
I'll take that.
Am I ahead of Jaws?
Yes, you're ahead of Jaws.
Nice.
You're ahead of the people that are ahead of you are really not people that are that recognizable.
Okay. So more people like me.
But no. Like they work for the NFL Network.
okay.
Like they actually do football for a living.
I got you.
But you're definitely better than most.
It's fun to pick Gary Davenport and the guys at Bleacher Report because while we may consistently do better at picks than them, we're picking them because they are where we want to be.
Yeah, and he did clarify they actually submit their picks on Tuesday, but they can change it on Wednesday. So they're a day ahead of us on the spread. So that's not an ideal situation, as he put it, but
It's not ideal for how we do it either.
no, but we stand by it, and we're proud of it. So with that being said, it's time for us to put a little bit of distance between us and the boys at Bleacher Report. Gary, you're more than welcome to come on the show and maybe get a little bit of that we don't know sports karma and have it rub off on you and get you out of the cellar because he's actually got a worse record than me and I'm one game under 500. So we already talked about the Thursday night special. We're going to move on to the rest of the docket, and we're going to start off with the Miami Dolphins, who we just got done talking about without Deshaun Watson. They're going where no one circles the wagons quite like the Buffalo Bills. And the Bills, good Lord, we're starting with a staggering spread. The Bills are 13.5-point home favorites.
So a lot of teams can get a bye, maybe a second bye, depending on your schedule, but everybody's guaranteed one. And I saw this today. The Bills actually have a bye month because they came off a bye week to play the Dolphins and the Jets, and then I think they have the Dolphins again, or it's Dolphins, Jets, Jags, something like that.
The AFC least, baby.
They're playing college level teams for the next month. Give me the Bills in the cover. Hammer that. You'll never regret it.
Turbo Tommy.
Right there with you.
Get in there, buddy. I can't hear you.
Right there with you. Bill's going to cover easy. Running away.
Wasn't you just talking about Biggie, how well Tua's been playing for 2 weeks?
Thank for Tua.
They did play the Falcons last week.
True.
The Dirty Birds.
I don't have much to add. I'm also going Bills because it's the right thing to do. Shout out, my brother.
It is the right thing to do. It's a clean sweep. We're all taking the Bills to win by 14 points. That's
nuts.
All right. How about let's just keep it with some trash teams. The Falcons at home hosting the Carolina Panthers, who, my God, they look like a completely different team than what we thought they might have been. Come on, Matt Rule. Get your ass in gear. Coach them up. Falcons are a 3.5-point home favorite.
Here's the thing. Both these teams are absolute dog shit. Complete trash. The fact that P.J. Walker is going to start on Sunday.
XFL.
He'll give Atlanta's front seven enough trouble that the Falcons will still win, but they do what they do when they win all the time. They either win by 2 or they lose by 2, and it's 3.5, so give me the Panthers to cover.
I'm going Falcons. I think the Falcons are going to make a run here. Matt Ryan's got his stuff together. He's going to put it together, and they're going to make a run.
Wait, what do you mean? A run to win a game or a run to win several games?
Several games. They're real. You watch. They're going to turn this thing.
All right, you heard it here first. Turbo Tommy says the Falcons are going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Whoa. I didn't go that far now.
Mr. Brown, your take.
So is Ridley playing this week? He is, correct?
I have no idea.
I'll be honest. I saw questionable.
I know Pitts is playing, my boy.
Yeah.
I like the Falcons as well because Panthers, they're not who we thought they were for sure because, I don't know. No McCaffrey, he's the new, who did we say that was? Oh, the new Todd Gurley.
Yes, he is the new Todd Gurley.
Yeah, so I'm going with the Todd Gurley-less Panthers to lose.
Hey, with the Atlanta Braves in town this weekend, taking all the pressure off Atlanta, nobody's going to be watching, so they're actually going to do okay because they're not going to get booed at home, and the Panthers are definitely trending in the wrong direction, so the Falcons cover this game. So you're the lone kitty cat there, bud.
You can't have God's chicken and play on Sundays. Meow!
That's a Chick-fil-A reference for everybody. All right, the rich just keep getting richer. We have an even better game. The Philadelphia Eagles on the road to Detroit, where the Lions are a home 3.5-point dog.
So now, for everyone out there listening, I only have one thing to say on these last 2 games that we're discussing. 1-800-GAMBLER, because you have an issue if you're really putting money on these. Having said that,
This is like betting on the Mac, isn't it?
yes, this is Sunbelt Wednesday night football betting. The Eagles have scored a touchdown in the last 2 minutes of every game this year except for one. That's how they've gotten their covers. They're not as good as the final score appears to show them. The Lions, for whatever reason, are willing to bite kneecaps off and play hard for Dan Campbell. A 3.5-point dog at home. Give me the Lions. They'll actually get their first win of the season.
Me too. Lions, they'll get their first win. They showed fight last week. I'm all in on the Lions.
I really didn't think you were going to go Lions because that's where I was going to go. I'm kind of disappointed now. Yeah, so I got to go Lions. I mean, you stole my thunder.
No reasoning.
No, I just liked it. I feel like they got to get a win at some point. And the Eagles coming off the Raiders game, they didn't look good at all.
I don't think either of these teams look really good, and I even hate to pick either of them. If we can still tie in the NFL. Can I pick a push? Is that okay? Can I just
Not at
do
3.5.
No, damn it, you're right. Somehow they'll find a way. There can't be two losers, so go ahead and saddle me up the lone wolf here. I'll take Fly Eagles Fly just because I think they're slightly better, and they're actually favored on the road here in Detroit, so that's got to mean something. I don't know if they cover about 3.5, but caw!
He's got to make up ground, damn it.
You got to do what you got to do. That's the blessing and the curse about picking last. How about the Titans on the road to Indianapolis? Did I get this right, Biggie? The Colts? The Colts are a 2-point favorite at home against the Titans.
I really have no idea how this line came about. Just like the Sunday night game we discussed last week where the Niners were a 4.5-point favorite, we all went Colts. It was the obvious pick. You look at this game, and there is no way the Titans should be a road dog. Divisional opponent, beating the Bills, beating the Chiefs. However, the Indianapolis Colts have played really good football in the last month and a half. They're going to win this game by 8 points.
8-point. Biggie is back on his fighting Frank Reichs and Mr. Glass, and really, you're taking the Colts to cover.
I am, because it's a 2-point spread, and I think it's a last-second field goal.
All right.
I don't bet against Vegas. Vegas knows what they're doing. I do not go against Vegas. I'm with the Colts.
I'm going Tennessee. I don't think it's going to be much of a fight here.
Yeah, I think Tennessee is, they've already had their shaky game. They had the Jets game.
I don't want to cut you off, but Tommy, damn it, you just put on there that Tennessee's the hottest team, the best team in AFC.
You did.
And now you do this shit? How are you going to have credibility?
I just said, you do not go against Vegas.
They're not playing the Raiders.
Point taken.
I had to get that off my chest.
No, you're not wrong, and I also align with Mr. Brown on this one. The Titans are easily rolling up that spread and smoking it and driving back to Nashville. Not even going to be a close game. They're going to run wild on them. So no lone wolves. We're split down the middle. Let's move on to the next game. Oh, we're time for double-digit spreads again. It's the Los Angeles Rams on the road where nobody likes to sell off their assets quicker than the Houston Texans. 14-point favorite.
14.5. Here's the thing. Or I see 14.5. Maybe it's just updated a half point. All right.
We got 14. 14 is what we're doing. We're going to say 14.5 and make it a... We don't like pushes, man. We like to play straight up here. So 14. I'm locking it in. Now it's 14.5. All
right, I like it like that because they're going to win by 17. Here's the thing: nobody rallies the troops quite like the Texans when they're tanking, which they're doing. They're getting rid of everybody. Here's the thing in the NFL: it's the league of parity, right? They want everyone to be 8-8, 9-8. How in the hell do we have so many spreads that are 14, 15, 16 points? And we all look at it, and we're obviously like, you got to hammer the over. Last week, the game against the Lions, a lot of fuel there from the other side. They wanted to get a win for their boy, Jared Goff. The Rams will rebound. They will rub it in. I look at this being like a 41-9 game.
Now that you've done scared the hell out of me with that big yell.
Don't yell, baby. Tommy's old. He gets nervous.
Rams. Nothing else said.
I'm taking the Rams because I took a Lone Wolf Texans last week trying to make up another game, and all I did was shit away my Bengals pick. It was a wash because the Lone Wolf didn't work out. And plus, I don't like making a Texans Lone Wolf sound because there's not really much to make there.
No.
So I am never picking the Texans the rest of the year.
That's not a hot take, really. I don't think any of us might take the Texans the rest of the year, even when the spread is 14. It literally went up from the time we started, and we're still riding the Rams to cover. So clean sweep across the board, man. The Texans are the worst team in football now. Is that fair?
Fair, accurate. Even though they've won a game and the Lions haven't, they're the worst team.
It's a different team now.
Good for Mark Ingram, baby.
Yeah.
Get down to Nolan.
Good for you, buddy.
Get down to Nolan's in your gumbo.
I will say one thing: is we all took the Rams. Tyrod Taylor may be able to start on Sunday.
Somebody called the Chargers team trainer. The job's not finished.
Give him the jab. Finish him.
Fatality. All right. Enough morbid talk about Tyrod Taylor and his collapsed lung from last year. How about the Bengals on the road against the Jets? The Bengals, double-digit favorite on the road at 10.5. And I'm going to go first since it's my team because I got to explain that I picked them to not only not cover but to lose against the Ravens. And the Costanza method does work when it's for my own team. It doesn't work in general, but it worked there. And I feel like you can't go to the well too often when those methods work, so I'm abandoning that, and I'm saying the Bengals are going to win this one outright by about 17 points. So, hooday, baby. We're in first place. Let me have it while I can.
Feels good, don't it?
It feels damn good. Woo! All right, Biggie, go ahead and tell me how I'm wrong.
Actually, I can't. I think you hit the nail on the head. I was in the same boat as you last week. They played the Ravens last year and lost by a combined 65-6. And I said, until they can at least keep it close, I can't pick them to win. The last two games they've played, their starting quarterback, Joe Burrow, hasn't played most of the fourth quarter because they're winning so much.
I know.
The only pause I had in picking them to cover, which I am, is that the Jets traded for Joe Flacco.
Oh,
No Zach Wilson.
It's like playing the Ravens again.
The Jets just lost 54-13 to the damn Patriots. They're going to get housed by the Cincinnati first-place Bengals as well.
Hooday, baby.
As much as I hate to do this, I am going to go with the Bengals.
Say it so everybody can hear you.
I am a Steeler fan, so this is hard for me to go with. But the Bengals are on a roll. They're the team right now. Jets are a dumpster fire, so Bengals.
I'm soaking that up, baby.
Remind me again what the spread is.
It is a 10.5.
It doesn't matter what the spread is. Bengals.
Suns in 4. All right, we're clean sweep across the Bengals, so I look forward to you guys making my team lose on Sunday. Thanks for that.
You're welcome.
How about the Steelers and the Browns? So we'll go to the other side of the AFC North. And Turbo Tommy, I'll give you the opportunity here. It's a 3.5-point spread in favor of the Browns at home.
I hate picking this one. I really do. I hate this. This is hurting my soul. God, I just don't know that I could do this. My heart says Steelers. But I don't see it happening. The Browns are a better team. They run the ball. They play defense. We haven't established a solid offensive game plan yet. I'm going Browns.
Tommy,
Please don't hate me.
Tommy, your voice was cracking. Are you okay?
I'm crying over here.
Like, man,
I am going Browns.
do we need to take a timeout?
Okay,
TV timeout.
Can we pause for 1 second before
For
Tommy
station
puts
identification.
this in? You understand that Vegas is giving you a hook. It's 3.5, and these are typically close games. So are you doing the Chad the Mark method, where you're picking against him because you know that'll help you?
I will take that.
No, he's not. I heard the disdain and the pain in his voice.
cracked.
Okay, well, he's wrong. It's 3.5. These games are always tight between the Steelers and the Bengals. The Steelers are going to have a little
Browns.
extra fire after getting housed in the playoffs
Here's the
last
Browns.
year by the Browns. And the Steelers are coming off a bye week, are they not?
Yes, sir.
Rested up, ready to go.
Najee's
I'm
ready.
not saying they win this game, but I love that you gave me that hook at 3.5. Give me the Steelers.
And it's in Pittsburgh.
No,
In Baltimore,
it is,
Cleveland.
And it's
in
only
Cleveland.
3.5?
Yes.
Oh, I'm going Cleveland all day. Sorry, Tommy. It was even that hard to say.
So,
As he looks at me and laughs. Sorry, Tommy.
What's up, Beach?
I feel like the Browns can't stay hurt forever, and they're starting to get some pieces back. Mayfield is playing in this game, is he not?
There's a possibility.
I mean, he looks like he's about to play, so I think that Pittsburgh, man, I don't know. Cleveland, I think, is a potential playoff team still. If they lose this game, I think this derails their season. This is a huge must-win. Pittsburgh, man, they've sneakily gotten back to 3 wins here. They're 3-4. I mean, 3-3. That's right. They had the bye week. My bad. I wanted to put them under 500. That's just how I feel. But they're 3-4 in my eyes. Damn it. But I'm also with Cleveland. Man, they're just. I don't see how they can't at home here. So what is a lone wolf for the Steelers?
What does that sound like?
Permanente Brothers.
Permanente Brothers? Is that what that was? You just said Permanente Brothers in an extremely high-pitched voice.
Terrible towel.
I thought we were going to... There you go. I thought maybe you would sing Renegade for us.
Can I say one thing?
Sure.
Nobody rallies their troops and communicates with their players today, tomorrow, 10 years from now, 10 years ago, better than Mike Tomlin.
The new coach of the USC Trojans.
Never say never, but never.
All right, let's keep moving down the docket. We've got... Damn, this game sucks. The 49ers on the road to Chicago.
Man, why do we have so many bad games?
The Niners are a 3.5-point favorite.
All right, I'll hammer the Niners, and I'll hammer the Niners.
I don't know. I'm just going to flip a coin here. I don't know. Flip a coin. Niners.
Niners and who?
The Bears.
Spread was what?
Doesn't matter.
The 3.5.
In San Fran?
No, it's in Chicago, but the Niners are a 3.5-point favorite.
Oh, yeah. I got to go Niners.
I mean, what about the Bears makes you... I know the Niners haven't been playing great, but I have a little more faith in them. I guess it's going to be a shit show.
I think they're talking about shutting Khalil Mack down, too, maybe.
I mean, why
I
not?
heard something along those lines. And then when you look at their defense is still playing well. Last week, they ran the ball well, and then they went away from it.
All right, so we're across the board taking the Niners. I'm sure that'll happen never again this season. How about the Jacksonville Jaguars making the trip out west to Seattle, where the Seahawks are a 3.5-point home favorite with Geno Smith at quarterback?
Geno. Here's the thing about the Seahawks. People are crapping all over Geno and the Seahawks for the fact they've lost 2 games by 3 points with him starting, and then the other one came down to the end. That's what the Seahawks have done for how long, guys? They're close in the fourth quarter. Russ makes some magic happen. Geno hasn't finished that way yet. They're at home against a shitty Jags team. He gets his first win starting for the Seahawks this week. They win by 14.
I agree.
Biggie, you
I
just
went out of
said
turn. I got excited.
A shitty Jaguars team. You said it.
West Coast trip.
Don't shitty Jaguars team.
Say it again one more time, Tommy.
One more time. Shitty Jaguars team. Seattle.
How are the strip clubs out there in Seattle for Urban?
You know what? I think Seattle's got some restrictive policies.
I think they're
right
cold and wet.
now. He might like them cold and wet.
He's making pit stop in Southern California on his way back.
Hey, I think he crossed the border, go up to Vancouver. Biggie knows about Canadian strip clubs.
Dude, you can throw quarters at him.
You want a quarter, eh? I'm going Seahawks.
I already slipped and said I was taking Seattle. I'm with what Biggie was saying. I was so moved by his analysis that it's really just a matter of time when they're not in a close game and all Geno has to do is not fumble or throw an interception at the end. So this is that game. Moving on. Done lost my place again. How about the... Oh, Biggie, your Patriots on the road out west to the Chargers, where they're a 4-point underdog.
So, boys, here's where you pick one up on me because I know I'm the only one taking the Patriots. I hammered this game hard with some money in my FanDuel account earlier in the week when the line opened at 7.5 because I do believe the Chargers will win, but it'll be close. Patriots have only lost one game this year by more than 6 points. Although I do believe it could be more than 4. I see my boy Mac. They're going to unleash him. Patriots.
It was shocking that you take the Patriots, but a nice shout out for FanDuel.
Shocking.
Give us some money, sponsors.
You're not going to be alone on this. I'm with you on the Patriots. They can run the ball. Chargers defense is weak. Patriots.
I was going to bring that up. I won't say it. Tommy, 3-5. That's what happened when the Chargers played the Ravens. They couldn't stop the damn run. That is their one weakness. They'll still win this game, but Damian Harris will have 177 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Tommy, you're not going to be allowed to sit next to Biggie if you guys high-five again because you took a Patriots team to cover.
I hate the Patriots.
Well, you just high-fived him.
You can't like them.
You high-fived him after taking
this
the
is all
Patriots.
about winning.
That's terrible. Mr. Brown, save us.
Wow. All right, so I obviously would love to see the Chargers lose. The Raiders in first place on a bye week, but
Imagine that.
just like the Bengals. What the hell is happening to the world? I think the Chargers are going to win this game. And I know you all came off of that crazy spread last week. Mac Jones and everybody balling out, you know? Like the days of old, right? Did it make you feel good? Did it make you feel good?
You know what makes me feel good? This is a West Coast game. It starts at 5, so Mac won't be eating his spaghetti at 9 in the morning. He could eat it at 1 in the afternoon.
Well, there you go. But it ain't happening back-to-back weeks. That's too much to ask for his fat, pudgy belly to do it 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah,
I'm going Chargers.
He's not smoking cigars. I'm also taking the Chargers because the Patriots with a rookie quarterback are not going to make that trip out west. They're going to be about like how Jacksonville is going to serve up in Seattle, and 4 points is enough for the Chargers to cover. So we're split down the middle on that one. Here's another phenomenal game. The Washington football team on the road to Mile High. The Broncos are a 3-point home favorite.
Let's just go ahead and call them the Washington Emails.
The emails. All right.
That's their new name.
We agree on that?
Okay,
Or the,
from now on,
the
they're
spam
emails.
folder?
Huh?
Yeah, spam folder.
We'll call them the Washington Spams.
Emails.
Something.
Send with the spam.
We're going to have to agree on that. We'll put it on the poll. We'll ask the fans to tell us. What do we properly call them? So,
I only have one
Biggie,
thing to say
take your
about this
pick.
game. Both of these teams absolutely suck, and they have. I took the Broncos last week thinking that they could play a little bit better. They didn't. I have no faith at all in the emails, the spam bankers. I'm going to take the Broncos simply because they're at home.
All right. Tommy?
Emails trying to go across country. I don't see it. Broncos.
Once again, AFC West. I hate it, but I got to go Broncos. I like them at home.
We're clean sweep across the board here because they got their spam filter on and that inbox ain't taking them. So the Broncos cover at home because, damn it, they got to win sometimes. All right, here's an interesting game. I really like the spread on this one. The Bucks on the road to Nolens. Bucks are a 4.5-point road favorite.
Anyone here who doesn't hammer the Bucks at 4.5 needs to quit making picks. Give me Tom Brady throwing 4 touchdowns. Gronk's back this week. Smack that Louisiana. Who that ass? 38-10.
Go.
You got to follow that up, Tommy. Get in there.
There's no following that up. I don't have that kind of passion for this kind of game. But I do think the Saints will win this one. This is the one game that the Saints correct their season. People start paying attention to them. Saints.
They don't even have to win. They just got cover.
You know why Biggie's that passionate, right?
No.
Because you don't know where Tom Brady's nutsack ends and his mouth begins.
Yes, that's one of his many favorite teams.
With that
Gronkowski.
being said, I'm taking that beautiful nutsack and the Bucks as well.
I mean, I honestly sit here and thought about the Saints of last year and how I rode them to absolutely nowhere fast.
Oh, win the Saints.
Yeah, so guess what? Tommy's going to have to sing the song because I'm taking the Bucks too. Because like Biggie said, you got to be an idiot not to take the Bucks to cover this game. But not that I would call Tommy an idiot. I love you, Tommy. That's not what I meant.
Even though last week, call me an idiot.
You're a lone wolf. So let's you got to sing the song
Oh, win this thing.
louder.
Go marching in.
Go marching in.
Oh, when the Saints go marching in.
There you go. Good job.
All right. That was nice.
You have to sing for Biggie from now on.
I wasn't sure if you're going to quit or if you're going to give us a Tyson Fury. That was good.
We'd walk to Memphis. All right. How about the Dallas Cowboys? I love this spread too. The Vikings at home are a 2.5-point favorite.
So, for reasons you'll find out on Sunday, hammer the Vikings.
Is just that vague?
Give me some insight to this. Why are we hammering the Vikings?
I know things I'm not going to say until after we make picks.
All right. That
Hammer
means,
the Vikings.
The Vikings are one of his favorite teams, by the way.
Oh, I'm learning this now. Okay.
2.5?
Cowboys. They're real. They're real.
Yeah, I'm going Cowboys as well. I don't care what kind of voodoo Biggie thinks he has on the Vikings or the Cowboys.
I mean, it's definitely the Cowboys who have climbed up in our power rankings, climbed up in everybody's power rankings. The Vikings have been the team that can't win close games. And with a spread at 2.5, yeah, man, Dallas covers this one easy. So, Lone Wolf at Biggie.
Skull!
That was not impressive. Woo! That's better. Inaudible noises. We love it. I love you too, bud. All right, how about the last game, the Monday night game? Is it time to correct course? Are we trying to write off the Chiefs as being the signers of one of the worst contracts with Mahomes? It's a 10-point spread in Arrowhead as the G-men, the Giants, come in. So this is a tough spread, I think.
To me, have we ever picked a game before where a team under 500 was a double-digit favorite?
They are playing the Giants, though.
But the Giants just smacked a team 25-3. Now, it was the Panthers. Here's the thing. I think that this is the game where the Chiefs, who have a ton of issues defensively, come out, put it together on offense, and put up 34, 38 points. The Giants just aren't going to match that. The Chiefs are 4-14 in their last 18 games against the spread, so I shouldn't take them to cover 10 at home. I'm going to take them to cover 10 at home.
Chiefs score, Giants can't. Bottom line, Chiefs.
I like how he's just short and get the point right out there. He's saving for all the time that Biggie wastes, babbling about nonsense.
We're uptight against a break here. Hurry up.
Hard break. Producers in our ear. Mr. Brown, what's the pick?
I could see 37-27, no problem. I feel like the Chiefs cover this pretty easy.
I'm shocked that we're all taking the Chiefs to cover this one. I'm also taking them just because, they got to do something right eventually, right? If there's a game you could circle as a Chiefs fan, go, this is where you right the ship a little bit. There's still a lot of work left to be done, but man, the Giants, they're not that team that's that good because they beat the Panthers. We're going to see them come back to earth a little bit. So
imagine somehow if the Giants would somehow find a way to win this game, how much pain and worry there's going to be in the Chief fan base going to 3-5.
Yeah, if they go to 3-5 and lose to the Giants,
it'd be magical for everyone.
Chiefs' kingdom would be collapsing.
Yes, I want
the
that.
pick I want to lose for the record.
Yeah, I'm sure. Along with a couple of them, actually. You'd like to go 0-3 on those AFC West teams.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure. But
except for the Broncos. I ain't worried about them.
So, for all the degenerates out there who listen to us, the dozens and dozens, my $5 14-leg parlay, because the Thursday night game I don't put on here, pays out $41,139. That's for $5. So you should really get into sports betting. But admitting you have an issue is the first step to recovery. So 1-800-GAMBLER if you can't pay your bills.
That's a good shout out because you never know how you're spending that $5.
Just because we make it seem cool.
Right. I mean, we are professionals.
I'm throwing $5. It's just hey guys, here's what it is. Some guy might have just put his whole paycheck on that.
Yeah, and you know what? Most gamblers are not that, so, it's not the common man that does that. Most people just like betting a little bit on fun. And I got to tell you, we're winding down the second quarter, close to the half here at the Thursday night game, and the Packers are holding their own so far.
Not surprising with A-Rod at the helm.
Yep, it is what it is. But anyway, that wraps up Week 8 NFL Stone Cold Lead Pipe Locks. Mr. Brown, is one of the elite pickers. Can he maintain his status? We're going to have to check after next week.
I am returning to my Thursday night dominance after tonight.
Blow horn, blow hard, not happening. Out of here.
Is that the manual buzzer? Hi, well, Mr. Brown, we're going to miss you this weekend. I have to work, obviously, like normal, but we wish you safe travels and a Atlanta Braves victory as you're heading down there. But I wanted to kind of bring something up because you posed a question to your millions of followers out there, and we got some interesting responses. I just wanted to share that with our listeners here about shit that you thought were real when you were a kid.
Right.
Like maybe adults just lied to you about stuff. What were some of those things that stood out?
Well, mine growing up, my mom swore to me that the rumble strips on the side of the road was for blind drivers, and I believed her.
I mean, it makes sense, right? Keeps it between the lines.
I mean, I can give you a few responses here.
I told you mine was also automobile related, that I was convinced that you were going to get pulled over because your cargo light was on the inside of the vehicle, because my parents always yelled at me if I ever turned it on the back seat, like I was going to kill us all if I turned that on.
Make that face long enough, your face will get stuck like that.
Yeah, I think we all heard that one.
There's another one about why you'll go blind.
This isn't...
It's not true.
He's an expert.
Our good buddy Jake Knoll thought his parents told him he thought he was adopted from Russia.
I'm sure a lot of parents probably told their kids they were adopted.
Malik Bendoff, that the California Raisins actually sang and produced Heard It Through the Grapevine.
If you wore the same T-shirt long enough, the spot around your belly button would eventually be a hole.
I hadn't heard that one before.
Belly button Lance takes it from the shirt.
Tara Patton, if I fidgeted with my belly button, it would come untied and my arms and legs would fall off.
There's some myths around the belly button I was not familiar with.
Dutch Laney, I really thought quicksand would be a bigger issue.
Dutch, I completely agree with you. The fact that I'm 40 and quicksand has not played a role in my adult life is kind of disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, I was in quicksand once in my life, and it wasn't that traumatic. It was just like hard to get your shoes back out of there. But I miss those cartoons that you'd watch on Saturday morning where, if the more you moved, the more you fell, into the quicksand. There'd always be like a tree branch over top that they'd save you from.
I just think of Indiana Jones.
Yeah. Matt Shackelford, my dad told me that when the ice cream truck is playing music, it's because it's out of ice cream.
Yeah. Now, I can tell you, I've told my kids that when they were younger.
Christina Hill put a grilled cheese in the VCR, believing it would show up on the TV.
Now, did you guys ever stick anything in the VCR as a kid that you got in trouble for?
No.
I definitely stuck a Matchbox car in there once. That was not pretty.
Chris Clark, that my dad killed Rudolph on a hunting trip and Santa wasn't coming.
What did you do? What the hell did you do to cause that reaction?
Ask him what the backstory is.
Krampus is coming for your ass.
Matthew James Sabalka Sr. said he didn't realize that women pooped.
They don't, do they?
No.
According to them, their shit doesn't stink.
Kelly Smith, last one. If you bury chewed bubble gum, a bubble gum tree will grow.
Speaking of bubble gum, me and Chad the Mark discussed this one earlier. If you swallow a piece of gum, how long does it take to digest?
7 years. Why is it 7? I don't know. It's funny the things that we tell what are our kids going to say? Can you think of any things you told your kids that are just a flat out lie?
I can't think off the top of my head.
I got a ton of them, but I probably don't want to discuss them because my kids listen.
I want to wrap up with one thing real quick before you say this. We had one thing, it was West Virginia related. Becky Majors Asbury said, Mothman. I believed in the Mothman, and I was terrified of that thing, and I'm fairly sure that he is real.
I would lump the Braxton County or Flatwoods monster into that, too. I was convinced. And we used to camp in Webster County, so we would drive through Braxton County, and I just always remember my old man being like, home of the Braxton County monster, and I'd immediately lock the back door of the car just because you never know. You got anything else, Biggie?
I had a thought. I lost that thought. I'll follow it with this thought. If I'm ever around Alec Baldwin, I stand behind him because no way in hell am I standing in front of him.
You're damn right about that one, buddy. Don't stay in front of Alec Baldwin, especially if you're on a film set right now.
Oh, My dad once told me that the kids that were on the side of the milk carton were the ones who wouldn't go to bed when the parents told them to.
That's a good one. That is a good one. Now they don't even
Get him, Kevin.
Now they don't even put the pictures on the milk cartons anymore. What the hell's up with
That got
that?
stopped after Lost Boys.
I actually watched that the other night. It was on TV. That kind of set the bar for what vampires should look like in movies.
Exactly.
So thank you, Kiefer Sutherland, because you looked horrifying there. I think that wraps us up, man. It's been another edition of the We Don't Know Sports podcast. Mr. Brown will be in Hotlanta. So, make sure you're following him on social media too, because you don't want to miss that interaction. But we'll be back same time next week. Y'all have a good weekend. We'll see you next time.